Erik, what's your assessment of that? Again, your team gets in a winning position near the end of the game and doesn't see it again.
Yeah, there are the facts, and we really should step up there. Shouldn't happen. It's so necessary when you work so hard, and also I think you work good together, and you by over a long period you control the game. Loads of chances. So apart from the second part, first half, where we conceded a couple of chances with good saves from Andre, but the rest of the game was all ours. And then, yeah, you were in a winning position and you give it away.
I mean, that has happened so much over the last few weeks. Why?
It's a variation of reason. So this is very different to the ones before. The only thing is, it's again a penalty. There were some penalties included. Chelsea, Liverpool, and now again. And I think it was a justified penalty. So we do it. And we only have to look in the mirror in the perspective of that penalty. But if then the refereeing is consistent, against Chelsea and Liverpool already there were no penalties against, but the penalties for us, we don't get them, and they are not consistent. When you see Wan-Bissaka 2 minutes before end against Coventry City conceding a penalty with a handball, and then ours from Anthony just before end, we don't get the penalty, and so that's also a part of it. So it's bad luck, but yeah, we play a role as well. When you put yourself in winning positions, bring it over the line.
Time.
Hi, Erik. There was some audible noise today from the fans at substitutions and at full time. Can you understand that from the supporters? Is it a concern from you? Do you think it's just frustration?
We are fans, but I have to manage a team, and I have, of course, winning games. That's first of all, and see what the game needs. And I think we needed by that time some freshness, first of all, and then but also from tactical wise, bring a player up who can keep the ball, who is creative, and then in the midfield you could see it was a very high intense game. It went up and down, and then you see also some fatigue. And Rasmus, which is a very young player, and Kobbie Mainoo, which is a very young player, and yeah, there we subbed. And it was the right decision. You see, after we took some benefit from it by bringing the fresh legs, with Scott in a position when it's so open, he's very good in such situations, and he can make his penetrations from there. And that also happened, and we put ourselves from there in a winning position. And then the last thing, we have 3 games where Burnley they had days off. And in that high intense game, yeah, that's totally logical to bring players off who are very young, who are in the first years of the Premier League, and then don't even talk about the injury risk. Rasmus Hojlund had more injuries already in the course of this season. Kobbie Mainoo also, and had 2 bad injuries. So I don't want them to get injured. So I protected them as well. So there are more reasons to make the subs, but then I understand that fans, they want to see. They see also the skills those players they are bringing, so contribute to the team. I understand that, but I have to do my job, and that is the right decision.
Phil.
There's a lot of players at this time of the season claiming it's fatigue. The fatigue will be responsible for mistakes and maybe why they're struggling a bit. I don't just mean your players, a lot of players across the league, and you can see that as outsiders on the physical side of it. But there's the mental side of it as well, to keep focused, to keep the tone attuned to it all the time. When you've got young players in the side, it's even tougher mentally for them. Is that an aspect that maybe some of your players, because they're so fresh to it, have struggled with? Is it the mental burden that's maybe been the reason for that?
Sure. It's we have some very young players, and that's why we built this club back, and that takes time. And we built this by bringing in young players, Rasmus Hojlund, Alejandro Garnacho, Mainoo, they are all in the first season of a Premier League. And the Premier League gets intenser year by year. We have seen the data, and it's much more intense as last season. And especially when you see it over the last 4 or 5 seasons. And those players have to adjust, and that takes time. And I'm sorry for everyone. So I'm very impatient, but there we need patience. And fans, they need patience. And we built here a team, and they need the experience. And yeah, you are right. And they have to, the mental. And when you get fatigue, you have to keep the focus till the end. Till also this season there was an extra effect that they do the extra time, and they are really it's often 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. So bringing more minutes in the game for to keep the tempo in the game as well. So therefore it's very intense and more volume, and yeah, that is say a limit they have to cross, and they only get it by experiences.
Well, that's the point I was trying to make, that because you bought young players, you're bringing in young players, that people are going to have to wait until next season, maybe the season after that, before they get the benefit of what you're actually trying to do here. That you need the time to actually see the results of what you're trying to put in place.
You express it 100% good. And I think,
Off your contract.
yeah, maybe we have to do.
Last question, Rob.
Maurizio Pochettino the other week said something similar about Chelsea, that you can't judge his Chelsea team now against the Chelsea teams of the past because they've chosen to buy young players. Are you effectively saying the same thing about this United team, that you've chosen to pick young players, and so the judgments against maybe great United teams of the past are way off the mark because they're just not at that level yet?
Oh, absolutely, way off the mark. But also the great Manchester United team, we forget they were also built. I have seen, I think when they are 2005, 2004, 2005, they also didn't play that great football. They were building, and it takes time. But everyone forgets, even the players who are by that time in the team, they forget that they were struggling and that they needed time to progress.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'll be